Hey, it's Coolio. If you don't know, here with something a little bit different. This is gonna be pretty much a one-shot video of a game called Decker. Um, for those of you who don't know, this is kind of a futuristic, completely non-realistic simulation of hacking systems and such. Um, so let's give this a try, shall we? Since this is a one-shot video, I'm pretty much just going to be um, playing off of a save file that I've had a lot of progress already on, and I'll show you around. This is the character screen. I've called my character Kanto because why not? Um, your current skills are here. So every time that you complete a contract, you get skill points which you can assign to any of these. And the number of skill points it costs is equal to the value of the skill as it is. So let's say I want to add a point to stealth, so that would cost 14 skill points, like that. This is your current lifestyle, which you start pretty much in a dinky little apartment where you pay like 500 credits of rent per month. You can upgrade all the way to Elite, which I am now, which costs 10,000 per month. And as you upgrade in your lifestyle, you get better selections of contracts and better selections at the shop. Shop apparently called Null Space. I actually just noticed that. Um, so yeah, here you can purchase programs that will allow you to uh, get through the computerized zone things. You can buy hardware that will help to protect you, hopefully, and you can buy firmware or chips. You can buy a better CPU, say, or stealth firmware, attack analysis, things like that. If what you're looking for is not in the shop, you can special order it. You can order any program that you want. You can order any hardware that you want with a rating, of course. And you can order any chip that you want, of course, provided that you have the money for any of these. Now, as far as programs and chips go, they only get to a certain level in the shop. And they can get pretty expensive. As you can see, a level 15 CPU is a little over 30,000 credits. So, what can you do instead of purchasing this expensive hardware? Make it yourself. You can make programs and you can make chips. You can't make hardware, you have to buy that. So yeah, to make a program or code for a chip, you just pick what you want to do, pick which one you want to make, the rating, and then start. The estimated time will be based partly on um, what the rating is, what source code you already have available, what level of design assistant that you have, and yeah, I think that's about it. And the maximum rating that you can have is directly based on your programming rating. As far as chips go, you can program those, and that's fine, but you can't just stuff code into a chip and call it a day. You have to select what chip you want, and you have to build it, and it'll go into, well, I can't actually build this because I already have it, but it would go into the chip burner here if you have it. The amount of time it takes to actually burn the chip is based on what type of chip that you're burning, its rating, and what speed of chip burner that you have. You can get up to quad speed, so 4 times faster than normal. Um, so anything that is that you currently have is on your cyber deck. These are the current ratings of chips and the hardware that I have. I think I have every piece of hardware. I may not have the highest levels of everything, but I have all the hardware. And these are the programs that I have. You can set any of these to load immediately when you get on the matrix. Anything that's not loaded, you can still load while you're on the matrix, but it will have to download, which can take some time. Pretty much essential, of course, is your attack program, which obviously allows you to attack. What else is absolutely essential? Hide is super essential, unless you hide from the ICE software that protects the systems that you go into. Deceive, which if a program finds you, you can attempt to make it believe that you belong where you are. I actually have a duplicate of this. I'm going to trash the duplicate. I have several duplicates of this. So trash that. Trash that. Now. But those are pretty much the super essentials. For anything involving files, you pretty much need a scan, and it's a very good idea to have evaluate and decrypt. So scan identifies the files, evaluate determines if they have any value, and decrypt will, as the name implies, actually decrypt any files that are being protected. This will hopefully make a lot more sense when I actually start playing, which let's get into it. So you have your contracts here. You have the deadline, which obviously if you have a 1 day deadline, you pretty much have to get it done on that day. The type, which all of these are pretty much the same thing, which is to manipulate a certain I/O port somewhere in the system. The difficulty, which obviously will get harder and harder the higher rank and living status that you are. The target, which is mostly useless, but I think these numbers are basically the base levels of everything in the system. And the pay, the big cashola. I'm gonna go with the easier of the three, not by much, but still. Deactivate some I/O in Yamaha. A client wishes to deactivate security cameras from the Yamaha system. You must locate the I/O node controlling this and deactivate it. Alright, so we've got a mission. Let's enter the matrix. And by the way, I do have some custom sounds for this. You can customize all the sounds. So this is not how it sounds by default, but you can make it sound however you want. So have fun. This game is free. Go get it if you want. So, fair amount of information here. These are the programs currently loaded. The ones with boxes here are the defaults. Our health, our cyber deck health, I should say, our physical and mental health, our shield status, that's transfer status, which will come into play in a bit here, and trace status, which will hopefully not come into play. These are our current buffs. These are the debuffs on the node itself, and any buffs and debuffs on your current target. Current target's ice health, the current target's health, so this roadblock here is at full health. And this is the system alert status. We want that to be green as much as possible. Also the targeted ice, if its background is green, it doesn't care. If it's yellow, it's querying you, and if it's red, it's attacking you or trying to alert the system if it can't attack. Anyway, let's get started, shall we? So when it comes to deactivating I/O, we want it to be in one of these nodes. We can press S to scan, and this is a high-speed connection to cyberspace, which will make downloading things a lot easier. We want to activate that. There. So now any transfers that we make, inbound or outbound, will only take one turn. This is the secondary processing unit. This is where we can get a map, or if there's a system shutdown in progress, we can disable that. Now this gargoyle here has queried us because it doesn't think that we belong here. When we tried to download the map, it kind of triggered it. So we're going to try to deceive it by pressing D, and it worked. So now we can download the map. So now we see some of these yellow triangles here. Any of those could be our target node. This one here is kind of interesting. Let's go there. So what this is the entry point for ice into the system. So if this is on, if you destroy any ice, they will come back a few turns later. We want to turn this off as soon as we can, just in case things start going a little hairy. So let's take a look at some of these other nodes. By pressing S, we can determine if this is the target node or not. If it's unimportant I/O, we'll leave it alone because it could be a red alert. We don't want that. Oh dear. So this guy did not believe us the first time that we tried to deceive it and has set the system to yellow alert. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to silence the node by pressing L and then try to deceive it again. And it didn't buy it. So now this ice is on red, which means if a turn ends and the node is not silenced, it will summon a red alert. Now, the silence buff does kind of last a random amount of time. It has dropped after one turn, but if we bring it back up, it won't be able to alert the system. Now, we're just going to get rid of the problem. And we're going to go to this node over here. Carefully, because we don't want any more alerts to happen. So this is the coprocessor. There are several coprocessors, as you can see. The only way to be able to reliably tell which one is the master coprocessor, if you will, is by getting the map, because otherwise it'll just show up as one of these green dots. So what we want to do is cancel the alert. Now this can fail, which will cause nothing to happen, or it can trigger a red alert, so you want to be careful. If it triggers a red alert, it doesn't matter if the node is silenced or not, everything will converge to your location. And of course, this can happen where the protector ice will query you. We want silence because we're on yellow, and it bought it. It bought that we belong here, so we're going to go ahead and cancel that alert now. Okay, so we're back up to green. And we're going to search the rest of these nodes. Doesn't seem like any of these are the I/O node that we're looking for. So we're going to do something a little different. Maybe not this one. Okay, we're going to do this one here. Because there's no protector node and there's only one worm. So this type of ice is a tapeworm. It protects files. As you can see, if I access the file list, this file here is protected by BOA 3.1a046b, which is this guy. So if we want to get rid of him, we have to decrypt him. What we're going to do first, silence the node. Always silence the node when you're doing something that could result in a red alert that can be preventable. And we're going to decrypt this guy by pressing C. It worked. Great. If it doesn't work, the tapeworm will destroy the file and attempt to summon a red alert. So if the node is silenced and there's nothing else in the node, no worries there. So now we're going to scan the files in this node by pressing S, and then wait for the scan to finish by repeatedly pressing W. Now the scan is complete. It found a couple of valuable files, which might be interesting to have. We're going to evaluate those valuable files by pressing E. And unfortunately, none of the so-called valuable files are of any value to us. So we're just going to leave things as is, move on. I'm going to go to this one here. Several more tapeworms and a guardian. We have to be careful. Silence the node before doing anything. And now we're going to start trying to decrypt stuff. Always watch the buff bar. Make sure that if the silence goes down, bring it back up as soon as possible. Especially if there's something hostile after you. So, we're able to decrypt everything. Let's go ahead and scan. Oh, we found a passcode. If we evaluate the passcode, it's going to make any attempt to deceive a lot easier. A lot more likely to succeed. Now, this file here is worth 134 credits to us, so we're going to go ahead and download it. And because we activated this, it's only going to take one turn to download. Now, you don't have to download passcode files. In fact, doing so will be of no use. You have to evaluate the passcode file in order for it to be applied to any attempts at deceiving, rather. So that's all we got in this node here. Let's keep on moving. Anything interesting here? Oh, there's another passcode. I don't think that getting multiple passcodes is going to make it easier and easier to deceive, but it's there. Ooh, there's a clue file. That is exactly what I was hoping for. When you evaluate the clue file, it will tell you exactly where you need to go. So it's Area 1, Node IO 10039. Right now we're in Area 2. So we need to, well, not to quote movies here, but we do need to go deeper. I don't think there were any... no, nothing valuable here. So, before going to Area 1, we're going to see what else Area 2 has in store. Try to get as much money as possible here because we do need 10,000 credits per month for rent. Alright, and oh, there's one file. Oh. Okay, and this is the last one. And nothing here. So now we're going to go into this portal here. And as you can see, there is a node highlighted in red. That is our target node. And we've deactivated the security cameras, thus completing the mission. Now we can disconnect at any time, but then we lose out on all of the potential money that is sitting around these file nodes. So turn off the ice port, and let's go. Now don't worry if this seems a little dull. Something bad is bound to happen. It usually does. Now I think that passcode files are applied by area. Most things are. So the passcode file that we got in Area 2 will probably not help us very much in Area 1 with attempts to deceive. Oh dear. That could have been bad, but we avoided any major screw-ups here. Oh, we've already done that one. Oh, geez. Hi. Bye. Another 128 credits to our name. Oh, geez. I totally forgot to silence, and this is what happens. So, here's the situation. Pretty much everyone knows that we're in this node as long as we stay in this node. If we can manage to either empty out this node or move to another node without anyone noticing, which would involve using our smoke here, then we should be alright for the most part. Right now, any attack eyes are mobilized, so they're all moving toward my position as far as they know, where I am. The big problem right now is that this guy, Tracker 3, has started a trace on us, which will complete in 10 turns. If that trace completes, then all of the ice, whether they've seen us before or not, will know that we're hostile and will attack. So we need to take this guy out before the trace completes. And this is going badly. You have one more turn. I think the trace... Yeah, the trace was cancelled, but now this guy has started a trace of his own. And our shield is almost down. Our reflect program is down. This could go badly. In fact, I think the best idea here is to get going. Now, our contract has been completed, as you can see. That won't change if we ditch out now, so let's do that. So we got 1,210 credits from the files we've downloaded, and 1618 for the mission pay, so 2828, which is not bad, but still, as I've mentioned, 10,000 credits per month. And we would be alright for a couple of months if we didn't buy anything at the shop, or if we didn't do any contracts or buy anything. We could basically spend 2 almost 3 months on projects if we wanted to, or on rest. That's one thing to note. If if your cyberdeck gets crashed out due to an attack, you will lose either physical or mental health. I think, yeah, only physical health. Only physical health will affect you outside of the cyberdeck. So what you generally want to do if you've received any damage, if you can afford it, is either rest at home, which takes longer, or go to a hospital, which costs more. But we don't need to worry about that because we got out of there before we crashed out. So let's take something that's going to be a little more challenging. By a little, I mean a lot. A client wishes to sabotage security cameras at the Yamatetsu system. You must locate the I/O node controlling this and sabotage it. There are 5 targets. The target system must not be aware of any tampering. So that means if we get a red alert at any time, the contract is cancelled. You lose, and your rating may fall. Oh, let's get started. Here's one of them. Two of them. Three of them. We're on a roll. That's nothing. That's nothing. Nothing here. Let's get a map. I'm going to go ahead and close the ice port here. There we go. No, that's not what I wanted to do. Okay, so we found three of them here in Area 2. You can tell it's Area 2, by the way, because the first digit here is a 2. It's that simple. So because this is a covert system, a covert mission rather, we're going to first worry about the actual object of the mission. That's 4. Ice port down. And go down to area 0 here. Hit the map. Here's a node that we haven't covered yet. This one handles System Administrator Alarm Notification. So basically, if a red alert happens, and this is off, then the System Administrator does not know that there was a red alert. Until, of course, they get that system back online, which happens sometime after you get out of the matrix. So this doesn't affect the covert nature of the contract. So if this is off and there's a red alert, you still lose the contract, is what I'm saying. But it will help by preventing the system administrator from taking further action, such as throwing more ice at you or shutting down the system. And there's number 5. Turn off the ice port. Now we're free to peruse the libraries and see what we can see. Get what we can get. Now I do have a high-speed connection bus. Let's see, where is it? High bandwidth bus. There we go, level 5, which is the maximum level, which will allow me to get most files within 1 or 2 turns, sometimes 3. And this time is extremely important that we make sure that the node is silenced before we start decrypting anything. Because if a decrypt fails and it makes the system angry, then we would lose the contract immediately, which would be a bad thing. Now we're just going to try to be as quiet as possible. Now other types of missions in this game include either downloading a specific file, editing a specific file, downloading and deleting a file, running a program provided by the client, creating a backdoor, or crashing the system. Now, those last two can be done anytime, but I'm not going to do them on this mission specifically because they can instantly cause red alerts. Now you can control this game completely with the mouse as well, if you feel more comfortable doing so. I find it just goes a lot faster if you do it all keyboard. Getting some clue nodes here. Clue nodes always show you where all of the targets are. So you won't get a clue that's like, well, there's one there, and we won't tell you where any of the others are, or anything like that. You'll always get the full solution with a clue. Oh. Almost started going a little too fast there. Now, generally when things query you, there's kind of a logic to it. If a guardian queries you and you pass the deceive roll, then it won't query you again as long as you're in that node. If a patrol queries you, and then another patrol comes in, it could query you again, because it doesn't have that proof. So this guy, I can deceive him, but it won't tell anyone else that I passed the query. So something else could come in and query me again. There we go. Another thing to keep in mind is if a node is silenced and something queries you, you do not pass the query roll. It attempts to increase the alert in the system, but it can't, so it assumes that you're hostile and goes red. Which means as soon as the node is silenced, if there is anything still in that node that has not been crashed, it will immediately summon a red alert rather than going up to yellow. And one more file node. And there we go. We're all done here. I'm going to go ahead and disconnect from the matrix. Got a nice over 4,000 credits for that. And let's see. I'm going to do at least one more. I'm going to do a steal and erase. So we're going to start by getting a map. Was this, no. So, if there's a red alert, we're okay. But we obviously still want to avoid the red alert because things are kind of scary and nasty. There we go. Oh! Now that's an interesting find. I thought we'd find a program first. But no, we found source code. So we're going to evaluate and we find that the source code is for Scan 9, Node Search 2.0. Now we have Scan 10, so we don't need Scan 9. But this is a quick way to get source code. So you can simply just download that and build it directly without having to work on it. Plus you have the rating 9 source code, which will make writing something for rating 10 a lot easier. You can also find pre-compiled programs, which are generally a lot more common than finding source code. See, there's a program now. Also, we found a clue file, so now we know where our contract nodes are. As you can see, they're not necessarily all in the same place. They can be. Sometimes they are, which is kind of silly, if you ask me. Let's see, silence 9, we have silence 10. So, No need to worry about downloading that. I'm gonna finish up this node anyway. This area. There we go. Since we've already started it, there's no way on the map to tell which ones you've already passed, so with me and my terrible memory, may as well just get this area all done. That was a passcode. Could have gotten it earlier, you know, but that's fine. Alright, so now... Oh geez. That's the thing, if something queries you, you ignore it and move to another node, it will automatically increase the alert, and then follow you and query you again. So you want to be careful about moving too fast from node to node. The game will kind of pause for half a second to try to give you some time to react. We're going to go ahead and cancel that alert. And this is a steal and erase operation. So we're going to... Come on. Come on. Only works against... This isn't a tapeworm? It looks a lot like a tapeworm, but apparently it's not. That's new. I don't think I've ever encountered that during this run, and it's been a while since I've played this game. Now we've downloaded this file, we gotta erase it, and that's one file successfully downloaded and erased. Okay, turn off the ice node. Turn off the external alarm. Now one thing to note again is that although we've turned on the high speed port in Area 1, it only applies to Area 1. So as you can see, it'll take 2 turns rather than just 1 to download this security file. I'm going to erase that now. Okay. And download this last one. And there you go. We have completed this contract. Alright. Got some source code here. Ooh. Well, that's interesting. We got analysis firmware source. So this is the kind of source that you would make a chip with. With which you would make a chip, anyway. But we already have analysis level 13, so this is going to be useless to us. Now let's go take another look in Area 1 here. There's a couple of file nodes here. And passcode. And nothing else useful. Well, I'll tell you what, these guys need to be punished for not having useful things for me. This is why I can't have nice things. So, because it doesn't matter whether or not we have a red alert, and because we've already completed the contract, I'm going to do a couple of things. First, I'm going to attempt to create a backdoor. There we go. So now by creating a backdoor, next time that we connect to this system, we can enter directly through the CPU, which can be useful, sometimes isn't, but at least it does give you an opportunity to get a map immediately, which can be particularly useful in timed missions, because some of these are timed. Next thing I'm going to do is crash the system. You can also cancel system shutdown if there's one. But we're going to crash the system. Right now we can't because there is something protecting this node. As long as the node's protector and any attack ice are in this node, we cannot crash the system. Same as in the coprocessor, if we're on red alert and there is the protector, you cannot cancel an alert or remove a trace. So we're gonna try to wait that guy out, okay? Silence the node. We're gonna have to make sure it remains silenced for this because we're going to go ahead and attack this guy. And then attack the protector. That was nice and clean, actually. I didn't expect it to be quite so easy. And that gives us the option to crash the system. That gives us absolutely nothing if that's not the actual mission objective, but you can do it for fun. Sometimes when I'm decked out in endgame things in this game, I like to just go around, destroy all of the ice, and then crash the system. Just be as nuisant as possible. Sometimes you even delete all the files. There we go. We have completed that contract. Now we have some more contracts here. But I think that's enough of a demonstration of this game. You kind of get the idea of where this is going. There's a lot of the same, really. I have looked at the actual source for this game. And there are a couple of files in the source that seem to imply that the author was going to have some sort of overarching story that would be completed through getting certain contracts. Unfortunately, that never got implemented, but this game is free and open source. I don't know where you can download it. I think it might be on GitHub or something, but or on SourceForge. Anyway, um, look it up if you're interested. It's not a very flashy game by any means, but it's nice and entertaining. Something that you can pick up for 5-10 minutes and then put it down at any time. You can save at any time, and yeah, it's a good pick up and go game. Anyway, that'll be it for this game. I'm Cooley if you don't know, and I'll see you guys next time.